Good evening and welcome to the 7 o'clock news here on CNC3. I'm Charlene Ramdani. In the headlines tonight, a state board crumbling under allegations of impropriety, resignations on the cards. A battle is brewing between TN Tech and the OWTU over the dismissal of a foreman. We tell you which home believes it's going to be negatively affected by new traffic restrictions in the West. Also tonight, our team in Cardiff gives us an insight into how the TNT team is settling into their pre-Olympic camp. And in sports tonight, another dominating performance by this country's netballers as they defeat Bermuda in the AFNA Championship being played at the Jean-Pierre Complex. Top of our news tonight. Resignations are already on the table in what appears to be another scandal on the board of the Estate Management Development Company. Tonight, we can tell you there are claims of intimidation against board members and threats against their permanent jobs. It all came to a head on Tuesday at an emergency board meeting called to discuss media reports of alleged impropriety at the EMBD. Some board members say they were shocked and disappointed to learn what was happening right under their noses and will not allow their reputations to be tainted. Cameraman Vern Tika Singh and reporter Kamal Georges have been following this story.
By week's end, the Estate Management Business Development Company will be in search of a new board. Behind closed doors on Tuesday, at least 4 directors at the company indicated they are ready to part ways with the company, which is in charge of prime agricultural land, including thousands of acres from Carney Limited. The action follows reports that the company was illegally renting state agricultural land to businesses, something which came as a surprise to some directors. Those who were not in the know now want a forensic financial investigation into the operations of the EMBD.
Board members need to see the whole picture to make correct decisions. We need to know what's going on, especially financially. I would hate to think that there were any improprieties, anything that we do, that didn't make it to board member. I do not want to be involved in any kind of bubble whatsoever. I would be extremely disappointed if a forensic audit was done, which I think should happen.
Deputy Chairman Stephen Broadbridge told Guardian Media Limited on Tuesday that Chairman Joe Ramkisoon refused to attend the emergency meeting, which was called to discuss the allegations which have come to light. He is further alleging that all members of the board were called individually and aggressively instructed not to attend Tuesday's meeting. 5 members attended while 2 joined by conference call. But Mr. Broadbridge tells us board members have been intimidated. He refused to give further details, but CNC3 News was reliably informed that at least 1 board member was told that they would lose their job in the public sector.
We cannot have things work correctly if people are being intimidated. People need to be able to do their jobs without any fear.
EMBD Director Danu Suku did not say whether she received any threats, but sent a warning that she was hired to do a particular job and will not be bullied by anyone. But she plans to resign as a director since she says the EMBD has been moved from the Ministry of Agriculture to the Ministry of Housing. In a telephone interview late Tuesday evening, Mr. Broadbridge told CNC3 News he contacted his chairman following the emergency meeting and was told he would be reprimanded for his actions. For CNC3, I am Kamal Georges.
Well, we're being told now that members of the board have conveyed their intentions to Line Minister Dr. Rudal Munilal that their resignations are imminent. We're also told that the resignations will be handed in tomorrow. And that's the story which takes us to your vote. The question we ask you to vote on tonight is, should a forensic audit be conducted into the EMBD in light of allegations of impropriety? So you're texting your response to the number 2623. If your response is yes, you're texting the letter Y. And if your response is no, you're texting the letter N. We'll give you an update on the voting as we go along and the final vote at the end of tonight's newscast. And we also want your vote to determine the most influential person over the last 50 years. Every night we unveil one of the most 50 influential personalities from when the country gained independence in 1962 right up to present day in 2012. You can vote via text to 2623. Stay tuned to the CNC3 News as we continue to unveil a different personality each night during our newscast, and you can use that opportunity at that point in time to get your vote in or anytime during the day. Returning to the news now, heated protests by the OWTU and TN Tech workers today as they stand behind an employee who was fired by the Commission. The OWTU is today saying the dismissal of the worker goes against industrial relations practices and it may head to the industrial court if a resolution fails to come off. But the Commission is also saying it's time for workers to adhere to company rules and health and safety measures. We have more from Otto Carrington.
The dismissal of a TN-Tech foreman by management for reportedly refusing to subject to a health and safety inspection has led to major protests by TN-Tech workers and their union, the OWTU, outside the company's offices in Mount Hope on Tuesday. The Oil Fields Workers Trade Union claims that management of TN-Tech is in breach of industrial relations practices.
During this year, early this year, we had several fatalities due to poor industrial and safety practices by the general manager. And we will put in tremendous pressure on him.
The foreman, who gave an off-camera interview, recalled what took place on the job site in Arima.
He flashed me badge, and when I inquired about who he reporting to in the safety, he said he's not as safe. He's not reporting to anybody in safety. He's reporting directly to Mr. Ramso. So I asked him, I'm not aware of who he is, because he never introduced him.
But in an immediate response, TN-Tech's General Manager Kelvin Ramsuk says the Commission is tightening its safety systems.
We have asked our guys, listen, report all your neighbors. We are not going to take any action on neighbors. We are not going to take any action. Report all your neighbors. But how could I do work in a system where you are refusing to, the crew is refusing an inspection, a safety inspection?
The OWTU say it's hoping for a reversal by TN-Tech with its decision to dismiss the employee, and if this decision does not happen, they will head to the industrial court. For CNC3, I am Otto Carrington.
A high-powered ministerial team visited Moruga today after an employee of state-owned NP complained that it's becoming more and more difficult for gas tankers to make deliveries into the area because of the deteriorating road conditions. The Member of Parliament, Clifton Dakota, accompanied Works and Infrastructure Minister Emmanuel George and his junior minister Stacey Ripnerine to the area. They counted over 90 landslips which are in need of urgent attention. Cameron Neil Romain and reporter Otto Carrington were on the tour and they filed this report.
Residents of Moruga earlier this year staged a fiery protest over deteriorating road conditions, and remedial work was started by then Works and Infrastructure Minister Jack Warner. But there's a lot more still to do. Roads in Moruga are in a deplorable state and there are over 100 landslips in the community. To highlight the problem, a tanker driver with the National Petroleum Company wrote to the NP management about the dangers of the slipping roads on his life and the threat that gas will not be able to reach the remote village. This prompted ministerial intervention. As Member of Parliament for Moruga Tableland, Clifton Dakota quickly acknowledged the urgency of the situation.
The petroleum trucks are unable to pass because of the precarious nature of the landslip. So that with some degree of urgency, I contacted Minister George and Minister Stacey.
Works and Infrastructure Minister Emmanuel George promised that his ministry will get to work in about a month's time.
If you go on the road, if you travel the road, you will see that some of the landslips reoccurred. You know, the concrete walls that were put in collapsed. It means that somehow we're not getting it right, and we have to, perhaps as Minister Rupnarayan indicated, come with a different engineering input.
Minister in the Ministry of Works and Infrastructure, Stacey Rupnarayan, says to date the ministry has spent over $100 million on road repairs in the area.
So if we are to look at repairing these 92 landslides, it will certainly go way beyond the entire budget in the Ministry of Works, and it is something that we really need to look at. What are the best ways to rectify these landslides we're having?
For CNC3, I am Otto Carrington.
Shifting gears now, Trinidad and Tobago's athletes have settled into their pre-Olympic camp in Cardiff, Wales, just days before the start of the Olympic Games. CNC3's Roger Sant and Hank Williams arrived in Cardiff today to follow the progress of Team TNT, and they sent us this report.
The road to Olympic glory for Trinidad and Tobago is passing through Cardiff, Wales. A 3-hour train ride due west of London, the majority of our athletes are in Cardiff in camp. The hotel, 15 minutes from downtown Cardiff, is known as the Vale Resort, and it boasts extensive grounds, a golf course, a full gym, pool and a 60-meter track, plus several other amenities for training. Outside the hotel, the Trinidad and Tobago flag flies proudly next to the Welsh flag, the Union Jack, and the flag of the European Union. Most of the Trinidad and Tobago athletes who will be competing at the Olympic Games have been coming to the Vale Resort here in Cardiff, Wales over the last few days. They are bonding together as a team, sharing their experiences and all getting ready in their different ways for the Olympic Games, which start on the 27th. When the initial group of athletes and officials arrived at the Vale a few days ago, local school children gave them a warm welcome. On Tuesday, several of the TNT athletes went to the nearby Cardiff University training track for a morning session. And they spent a generous amount of time doing interviews, signing autographs and meeting local school children. So far, the Trinidad and Tobago athletes have been enjoying their welcome and camp in Cardiff as they prepare for the start of the London Olympic Games on July 27th. Reporting from Cardiff, Wales for CNC3, I'm Roger Sant.
Well, from Roger in Cardiff to Astor Ren right here in Port of Spain, Trinidad, we bring you a little taste of what's coming up in our sportscast a bit later on. Astor.
Oh, thank you so much, Charlene. Well, coming up in our sportscast, we stay with track and field news. Mr. Bolt, he will tell us why there's no bad blood between himself and his training partner, Johan Blake. And we also have a story about those junior athletes who have returned from Barcelona, Spain, and they came with medals in hand. All that and more, Charlene, is back to you.
All right, I'll still see you then. Let me remind you of tonight's Your Vote question at this time. The question we're asking you to vote on: should a forensic audit be conducted into the EMBD in light of allegations of impropriety? Text your response to the number 2623. If your response is yes, you're texting the letter Y, and if it's no, the letter N. We'll give you an update on the voting during the newscast and the final vote at the end tonight. Well, just ahead on the CNC3 News at 7, new policing units on the cards as the National Security Minister voices frustration with the police. Police concede rising murder rate is worrying even as the killings continue. And we tell you what you should know about your rights when it comes to healthcare. And later on tonight, new hope as U.S. health regulators approve a drug to prevent HIV infection in an historic first. This is the CNC3 News at 7. Stay with us.
Just the brew, boy. I don't like the vibes.
It's the carb is all that I drink. It's the best. Carb is the real beer. Had to be.
Real beer is carrot.
Strictly carb for long time. Real beer. You know what I mean? That's my drink. It tastes real smooth and everything. It's just cool, man. If it is a carb, you want nothing else, you know? It's like best of the best.
Real beer is carrot.
Getting as accurate a prescription as I possibly can is important. So even before your exam with me, we'll perform pre-screening with you to take readings about your eyes that can help me identify possible problems that we can act on. Regular visits for professional eye care services are important to your life. It's more than just an eye exam. It's having good vision. It's having peace of mind. At Value Optical, we are dedicated to helping you have that peace of mind always.
Welcome back. National Security Minister Jack Warner says new police units will be launched soon, even as he expressed his frustration with what he terms excuses from the police service in dealing with crime. Addressing the opening of a cadet camp today, the minister is again assuring crime will be under control and it may come with the reintroduction of some old crime punishment measures such as the cat o' nine's tail. We have more from Melissa Williams.
One day after he said he was angered by the level of crime in the country, National Security Minister Jack Warner is now assuring that he is channeling his emotions in the right direction. As he addressed hundreds of cadets at the opening of the annual training camp on Tuesday, the minister says very soon the country will revert to some old measures which worked in the past as he aims to get a handle on the crime problem.
Gun amnesty? Wait, Dorothy, wait. Cat o' nine tail? Wait, Dorothy, wait. Whatever worked well in the past must be brought back.
According to the National Security Minister, he is tired of excuses from the police service about its response in the fight against crime.
Oh, we are a land of excuses. We don't have enough men, we don't have enough vests, we don't have X, we have Y. But the fact is, my friends, that the police service in this country is the best outfitted in the Caribbean. And yet for all, I ask you, where are the results?
The minister says the crime statistics are startling and show clearly where emphasis should be placed.
The shots came from Laventille. 66% from Laventille. And in Laventille, we have 68% of the murders.
Minister Warner says he believes the attack on crime must start in communities, and to this end, a new police unit will be launched.
Police community support officers. When every community will have its police community system and force responsible to the sergeant of the community police. That is coming.
For CNC3, I'm Melissa Williams.
Yet another appeal from the police service for citizens to come forward and give information to tackle crime. The appeal came today as the police service confirmed that its witness protection program is working and that it will do everything possible to conceal the identity of those who have information to solve crime cases. We have more from Samuel McKnight.
There have been concerns by citizens with information that can lead to arrest and solve major crimes, that their lives will not be protected should they decide to come forward. With many believing that the witness protection program is a farce. However, on Tuesday, Public Information Officer Sergeant Wayne Meiser says the program is alive and well.
Yes, there's a witness protection program in place. All right, that's as much I can tell you as it relates to that. So persons who are willing to get on that program will be able to get on that program based on the communication.
With the spate of murders increasing and serious crimes increasing daily, Sergeant Meiser says the program is one of several ways in which citizens can give information to the police.
There's a system where we have the 555, the 800 tips system where your identity is unknown. You can call 800 tips, you can give your information. There's even rewards for persons.
He says the public help is integral in getting the crime situation under control.
We want to let the members of the public know that the fight against crime is a continuous one, and we continue to, approach the situation in a serious and meaningful way. Of course, we were going to make sure that we enhance what we are doing, increasing patrols, and doing all that is within our powers to arrest the situation.
For CNC3, I am Samuel McKnight.
A central Trinidad man is murder victim 230. Dead is 66-year-old Kenrick Raphael of John Eli Road in Chase Village, Freeport. Reports are shortly after 9 o'clock on Monday night, the self-employed man was standing at the roadway at John Prasad Trace Fireborn Village in Freeport when he was shot dead. Police have no motive for his killing, and a Belmont taxi driver identified as Joel Phillips is now battling for his life at the Port of Spain General Hospital after being shot several times. Reports say Phillips was driving his silver Almira along Hermitage Road in Gonzales at around 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon when he was attacked by gunmen. Well, it's day 2 of the new traffic scheme in parts of Western Trinidad, and the frustration for motorists, commuters and residents remain. In fact, some tell us that the traffic plan may prove to be a hazard since what was once a safe zone for pedestrians and residents has turned into a dangerous highway. We have more from Kamal Georges.
If Louis is saying $4, drop him in St. James and tell him get a taxi to come to town.
Frustrated by the new experimental traffic scheme, St. James taxi drivers maintain they are getting a raw deal with the new plan. But the implications of this new traffic plan extends way beyond the taxi stand. In the less than 48 hours since Arapita Avenue has been transformed into one-way traffic, some Woodbrook residents tell us it's like the floodgates have been opened. It's no longer Arapita Avenue, they say, but Arapita Highway, and that makes it extremely dangerous for residents who have to cross this busy stretch. Kalita Pear runs a summer camp at a preschool on Carlos Street in Woodbrook. She says it's become so difficult to get a taxi, some parents choose to walk, but therein lies the problem.
Instead of trying to average, if 2 cars are going to be okay to stop, it's now you have to look for 4. It's just a bit stressful for some parents who have to now walk with more than 2 kids from Tragareed Road.
The special children of the Princess Elizabeth Center also face a challenge when the new school term opens. CEO Felix Pear says he was disappointed that an institution older than this country's independence was never consulted during the process. He has concerns about how these children and their parents would be affected come September.
We should have been one of the stakeholders who should have been consulted, because we were in existence long before Areopita Avenue became a beehive of activity. Okay, and therefore I am hopeful, even though the plan has good intentions. We know that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and I do hope, notwithstanding the concerns, that it pans out and it is smoothed out.
Mr. Pear believes some parents, students and staff will have to pay increased fares to get to the facility. He says the home will now have to find a way to facilitate those who will be most affected. For CNC3, I'm Kamal Georges.
It's now time for our Tuesday night segment, Know Your Rights, and tonight we look at your rights as they relate to healthcare.
One of the most important needs to any individual is the access to healthcare. You should know that the law does afford you several rights when visiting any healthcare institution. One of the most important ones to note is the right to the freedom from abuse. According to the Patient's Charter of Rights and Obligations, you shall be protected from mental, sexual, and physical abuse, or the intentional or non-therapeutic infliction of physical pain or injury, or any persistent course of conduct intended to produce mental or emotional distress. You shall be free from non-therapeutic chemical and physical restraints, except in fully documented emergencies or as authorized in writing after examination by a patient's physician or authorized officer for a specified and limited period of time, and only when necessary to protect you from self-injury or injuring others. Minors, homeless, and disabled persons are also appropriately protected under these guidelines. So the next time you visit any health institution, you should know what to expect. Join me, Chester Sambrano, next time as I urge you to know your rights.
Let me give you a quick update on the Your Vote question tonight. The question we're asking you to vote on: should a forensic audit be conducted into the MBD in light of allegations of impropriety? You can text your response to the number 2623. If your response is yes, you're texting the letter Y, and if your response is no, the letter N. We'll give you an update on the voting during the newscast and the final vote at the end tonight. Well, I can sit back in my chair now and relax and take in the sportscast with Astel Wren. Astel.
Well, thank you so much, Charlene. You can relax because sport is something to relax about. Well, coming up in this evening's sports coverage, joyous national youth athletes return from Junior Olympic Games in Barcelona, Spain. TNT netballers score another crushing win in the AFNA tournament on home soil. Teenage kickboxer off to World Amateur Championships in Florida. A sports scientist advises turn your passion into a career. And
Arthur Napoleon Raymond Robinson was the third president of Trinidad and Tobago, serving from March 19, 1997 to March 17, 2003. He was the first active politician to be elected to the presidency. He was also the country's third prime minister, serving from December 1986 to December 1991. He's internationally recognized for his proposals that eventually led to the founding of the International Criminal Court. Following the 1971 election, Robinson founded the Democratic Action Congress, which won 2 Tobago seats in the 1976 and 1981 elections. In 1981, Robinson joined forces with the United Labour Front and Tapia House movement to form the National Alliance. They entered an accommodation with the Organization for National Reconstruction, and the four parties combined to form the National Alliance for Reconstruction, which won the 1986 elections by a margin of 33-3. And Robinson was appointed the first non-PNM Prime Prime Minister. Prior to the 1986 elections, Robinson was instrumental in setting up the Tobago House of Assembly and was its chairman from December 1980 to December 1986. During the 1990 attempted coup by the Jamaat al-Muslimin, Robinson and much of his cabinet were held hostage for 6 days. When instructed to order the army to stop firing on the Red House, Robinson instead instructed them to attack with full force.
The 50 most influential personalities since independence. We want your view via text on Facebook and online at 50tt.guardian.co.tt.
Stream, share faster than ever before on Digicell's super fast 4G network. It's summer in 4G. Get your smartphone with a smart plan on the smartest network in TNT. Sign up for our newest postpaid smart plans now. Plus, for a limited time, get 1 month subscription free and 4G smartphones for $199. Be extraordinary. Digicel.
Candy launches its 12G. Enjoy 12 pieces of refreshment anytime and anywhere. So convenient, so affordable, so cool. Experience the Blast 12G of Mint Explosion, Ice Blast, and Dino Blast. It's fast, powerful, and refreshing. Only $4.99. Available everywhere. Call 636-2360 extension 246 for the Mint Experience. KC Candy. We make every moment sweeter.
Which would you choose? Several pills or just one that does the same as the others? Without a doubt, the one. So when buying your new vehicle, choose In One from Answer Merchant Bank. Financing, insurance, maintenance in one convenient package. In One. Answer Merchant Bank.
You like your Subway? How come?
Well, I love fresh salads.
I love the breakfast too.
I love the foot long. I love mine got right through.
I love my Subway with all the fresh veggies. I love the healthy choice. And that they're everywhere.
I love mine toasted quick. And that they really care.
I love my Subway.
Prepare just how I say.
I really love my Subway.
I love fresh homemade bread. I love my stuff just right. I love their awesome team. I love mine in the night. I love my Subway with all the choice of meats. Boom diada, 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 boom diada.
Subway, eat fresh.
Well, this country's contingent to the World Junior Track and Field Championships in Barcelona, Spain, returned to this country earlier today. the young track and field stars were able to capture 2 medals in Barcelona, gold in the men's javelin, won by Keyshawn Walcott, and bronze in the 4x400 meters. Walcott split up with a team headed for London, where he will compete at the Olympic Games, while 3 members of the relay team were on hand to accept a warm welcome at Piarco International Airport.
Broad smiles all around as Trinidad and Tobago's World Junior Championship team returned home today. Among them, the bronze medal winning boys 4x400 meter relay team, minus Marshall Cedeno, who along with gold medal javelin thrower Keyshawn Walcott were diverted to Cardiff, Wales for the pre-Olympic camp. Manager of the team, George Comisiang, urged all not to frown on the number of medals, but rejoice in the breakthroughs made.
It's the first international gold in javelin that we've received, but perhaps more importantly is the manner in which the 2 medals were won. Those of you who were following it on television, online and so on, would have seen that we literally came from behind. In the case of Keyshawn, it was his very final throw that made the difference. And in the case of the 4x4, they had all of us standing up and perhaps trying to finish the last 20 yards or so.
N3A's president Ephraim Serrat noted that a concerted effort to boost the non-traditional track and field areas is reaping reward.
In 2008, we had a gold medal in the jumps by Rhonda Watkins. And because of our analysis that we continue to do, we continue to develop these programs.
And Brandon Benjamin, a member of the 4x400 quartet, also had his say.
I would just like to thank everybody for coming out and supporting us during our time of need. You know, it was a hard struggle for some of us to make the team. Well, we went out there, we tried our best. We came out successful in the 2 events. But it was a very hard experience for most of us.
Reporting for CNC3 Sports, I am Jussie Merrick.
And then some more track and field news. Well, Johan Blake has stated his friendship with fellow Jamaican and training partner Usain Bolt will survive whatever happens at the London Olympic Games. Blake is the reigning world champion in the 100 meters, while Bolt is the Olympic champion in both the 100 and 200 meters.
You don't win this 100 meters. Who would you like to see win it, personally speaking?
I mean, come on, that's not even, it's not because if I don't win, you know who I want to win. Because we train together every day, but let's not jinx me. Let's not jinx me on that one. But for me, definitely Blake. I was happy for him because he's my training partner. If I'm not in the race, we train every day. I know how hard he works, so I would love for him to win if I was in the 100 meters. But let's not ask that question again, please.
Every time in training, I want to win, but he's always there. I said, okay, how am I going to win on the big day? So that's why some of my time I tend to be at the front. So when I go on the track, I said beat him in training. He will say to me, Johan, look, you're not doing this for the people. You're not doing this for the fans. You're not doing this for your family. You're doing this for yourself. He can motivate me. No matter what happens, if we win, lose or draw, we're still friends. So even though it's his business, he wants to win, I want to win.
Well, this country's national netballers scored another resounding victory at the AFNA Championships currently taking place at the Gimpe Complex in Porto, Spain. It's the second time in as many matches the national squad registered 3 digits in their points tally. From the start of the encounter, the national ladies showed their dominance with another awesome display from goal shoot Anastasia Wilson. The TNT players were quick on the counter and Wilson got the job done on every occasion. Also getting into the act for the home team was Janine Richardson. And Wilson maintained the pressure on the opposition. In the second quarter, the pattern of play continued with Wilson on target once more. Bermuda, although being hammered, never caved in, and goal shooter Danielle Reno was on target for her country. The national ladies were also on song with their passing, as demonstrated on this occasion. There was no doubt where this game was heading. The national team established a 72-13 lead in the third quarter and went on to win the encounter by 102-21. Wilson recorded 64 and Richardson 34. In the other matches, Barbados defeated Canada 64-46. St. Lucia got past the USA 55-44. And Jamaica pounded Guyana 133-13. Well, national kickboxer Joel Ramuta sets off to Florida to represent this country at the World Amateur Championships starting this Friday. The 17-year-old starts preparation for the 2016 Olympic Games, which will be officially inducted into the Sports Hall of Fame, into the sports and the Olympic sport. And after completing his Caribbean examinations a few months ago, Ramuta has turned his attention to the 3-day championships.
Training at least 3 times a day for the past month, that is. We've been training hard on mornings, running, during the day, bag work and sparring in the afternoon. We also been running on the hills.
And it does not stop there, as on August 11, some of this country's top fighters will be in action, one of whom is Princely Isidore, who will be dedicating his bout to the memory of his brother Leroy, who died in a vehicular accident in 2007. Leroy was a national and Caribbean in the super flyweight division. Leroy also represented this country at the Commonwealth Games.
As one, because it was something that we usually used to speak about, used to talk about a lot, that where we wanted to go, how far we wanted to reach, the accomplishments we wanted to attain along this whole process in this sport. And it's kind of good now. Well, I'm not glad that he has passed on and things like that, but what I am glad is that now I have to live that dream for both of us.
Well, transform your passion into a career. That's the message from Carlos Salvatore Joan, a sports scientist and innovator from the UK who is currently in this country spreading his knowledge about functional movement. Over the years, Carlos Salvatore Joan carved a name for himself when he wore many unconventional hats and titles. And, well, Jazzy Marie tells us more about this young man.
If football freestyle is your thing, then chances are you've heard about Carlos Salvador João. He's done some of the choreography and even appeared in some of the most iconic football videos around. But it's his work as a sports scientist that has brought this Jack, or João of all trades, to Trinidad and Tobago.
João explained that he has never played professionally, but his passion and love for sport and football in particular is what has driven him this far.
Through football, I started to go into a functional movement, first and foremost to improve my own performances, and then as a coach. And I think, I've just tried to keep myself as close as I can to my passion whilst making sure that I'm educating myself. But I think, it's a combination of the education that I've received and the passion I have, and, just kind of exploring what avenues there are in professional sports industry.
João was able to merge his love for football and experience in the media into a unique career of sport choreography.
With choreographing, it's very much about taking something that happens within a sporting scenario and making it exciting enough for the viewer to watch. It's about bringing, the images that the brand wants to its audience.
And he was kind enough to share some insider information about one of his most popular pieces, the Nike Ole commercial.
The idea was to have them chasing a ball and trying to keep the ball away from each other, but instead of having it all happen on the field, by having them running around the stadium, it makes it more real, it makes it slightly more urban.
Reporting for CNC3 Sports, I am Jassy Marik.
Well, spinner Sunil Narayan puts his recent success in the just concluded one-day series against New Zealand down to hard work. Narayan pointed out he takes nothing for granted and trains extremely hard on match day, where he can execute well his ability.
I'm a bit nervous, but I tend to try to keep it cool, and at the end of the day is how bad you want it, and I think hard work pays off at the end.
And Ellis was out.
Well, the spinner also dismissed his claim that he has a stranglehold on the Kiwis batsmen, but added he always goes out and gives 100% every time he's called upon to perform.
And at the point in time, and it's who give 100% of the day will come out on top.
Teams will start arriving on Wednesday for the Under-19 Invitational Tournament being staged by the National Women's Cricket Association. This country is the countries participating are St. Vincent, St. Lucia, and a team from the ICC Americas. Matches will be played at UE, NCC, and Caldrat Ground. The four-day competition bows off on Thursday with this country's Board 11 against St. Lucia at the NCC ground in Balmain, Vancouver. And FIFA has made some moves to banish its image of corruption. At an extraordinary meeting by the executive of FIFA, they have employed the services of two top crime fighters, U.S. Attorney Michael Garcia and Germany's Judge Joachim Eckert. Garcia has been given the responsibility to handle all the corruption allegations, while if found guilty, Eckert will wheel out punishment.
I don't see any limitation if anything has happened. We have a new set of rules and regulations. We have new regulations for the Ethics Committee. No statute of limitations there. And what you're mentioning right now, this is a case which has been taken to the Supreme Court in Switzerland, where a decision was taken. And so FIFA will now look into only moral and ethical issues.
And to our sports side, where we go back to the Dream Pack Complex, where goal shoot Anastasia Wilson gave a commanding performance. Stopping goal shoot Anastasia Wilson. She dominated all four quarters during the game, being accurate with all her attempts. Anastasia scored 64 points, more than half the amount of her team's points tally. And on that note, Anastasia, we say take a bow. You are rewarded with the CNC3 Sports High. Well, that is fine goal shooting there, and that's our lineup for this evening. It's back to you, Charlene.
Let's get an update on your vote at this time. The question you're voting on tonight: should a forensic audit be conducted into the EMBD in light of allegations of impropriety? From your response so far, 17% of you have voted in yes, while 83% of you are so far voting in no. You don't think a forensic audit should be done just yet. Well, remember, you still have a chance to get your vote in before the end of tonight's newscast. And as usual, we do encourage you to take part in all your vote. Well, coming up just ahead tonight, new hope in the fight against HIV and AIDS as a new drug is approved by U.S. regulators to prevent the HIV infection. And there are two things U.S. President Barack Obama says he loves: basketball and his wife, Michelle. And cameras around the world caught him displaying his love for both. Stay tuned to the CNC3 News at 7.
Fusion of cultures, peoples, artistry, our hearts, our voices, our home. We move to the rhythm of our own beat.
From us, by us, for us. We got this. Innovation, affordability, caring customer service. Be Mobile, TNT's #1 mobile network.
This really one bank, it can depend on friendly service every day. It's really one standard of treating you like you deserve to be. Yeah, Republic is only the best to you. We get personal attention, so explain for your inspection.
There's one in all of us. Don't drink and drive.
I love what you drink.
Designate a friend so you can lime again. Be the one. A message from the Trinidad and Tobago Beverage Alcohol Alliance.
Shell Helix makes you feel like you're driving the best car on the road.
Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, Breeze is at it again.
The Breeze Shopping Spree competition has been reloaded. Buy any 900-gram Breeze or larger, or any size Quicks or Sif product, and you can win a shopping spree for yourself and one for your friend. 10 sprees, plus cash and prizes to be won. See press for details. Promotion runs from May 14th to August 31st.
Tell a neighbor, tell a friend, Breeze is at it again. It's the new shopping spree for you and me. Now winning is a breeze.
I think as an artist, it's important to know who you are and what you're for. So it's good to come back home, come back to base, to my roots. If we are a dot, let's be the most creative, passionate, energetic dot they've ever seen. I for that. It's just that amazing simplicity that I love about Trinidad that continues to inspire me. What are you proud about? Tell us on Twitter by tweeting I4TANDT.
Where there's love for country, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's BPTT.
There is a place where all of our people will meet, where we will see them compete and follow their efforts, and feel the excitement of seeing our colors and the pride of seeing our countrymen win. Everyone will be there, all in one place. DirecTV, the only one with coverage of the Olympic Games focused on our athletes. Now get your DirecTV hooked up for only $99.
Let's go across to Eric Mackey now for a look at your weather. Eric.
Thank you, Charlene. We had some bright, hot, sunny conditions today. There may have been a brief isolated shower here and there, but not much at all. Nothing of any significance until you get this tropical wave out in the east here. That's about 2 days away. It looks like it's going to be around Trinidad and Tobago sometime on Thursday. And behind it, there's a bit of a moist surge. You can see a fair amount of activity in the intertropical convergence zone there. That whole thing is coming towards us. So you'll have the tropical wave go through first, and then you'll get that moist surge behind it. So it looks like Friday and Saturday will probably be a bit on the wet side. Other than that, nothing of any significance in the Atlantic at all. There's absolutely no tropical storm or hurricane condition or anything resembling that anywhere at all. Very, very quiet so far after a very hot start to the season with 4 named storms in the early part. But things quieten down dramatically now. We'll see how it goes before the season ends. The wind's going to be light tomorrow, around 10 to 15 knots, gusting 18 to 20, and out of a mostly easterly direction. The seas are forecast to be 1.5 to 2 meters with a 7 to 8 second interval between the swells. They're also out of a mostly easterly direction. In the Gulf of Paris, seas will be around 1 meter or less. Trinidad tonight's going to be mostly fair. There's a chance for an isolated shower tonight, so it'll be 24 degrees. Tomorrow, we're looking at long sunny intervals, the chance of a shower, particularly in the afternoon, and a high of a hot 33. Crossing Tobago tonight, generally fair and a low of 24. And Tobago tomorrow, mostly sunny, chance of a shower during the day and a high of 32. Sun's going to rise at 5:52 a.m. and sets at 6:32 p.m. First high tide for Port of Spain will be at 3:01 a.m. and for Scarborough 2:35. And first low tide 9:50 a.m. for Port of Spain and 9:29 for Scarborough. And that's my weather report for now. We'll have a look at the travelers' forecast, take a short break, and when we come back, Charlie and I have some more news to you.
Come and hear what police can do. Come and learn what police can do. We want to partner with you. Come and see what police can do. Come and hear what police can do. Come
Come on down to the police caravan this Friday, July 20th, Harris Promenade, San Fernando, from 12 noon to 5 p.m. It's exciting and informative. Bring the entire family. See you there.
We want to partner with you.
We are touched by your smiles and your friendships, by your appreciation of the past and your ability to see the future. We're motivated by your drive and your willingness to try new things. We are fascinated that even though you are so very different, you still see yourself as so very much the same. We are energized by how hard you work and your ability to have a good time, by your pride and your passion. We are moved by your every new beginning and wonderful end. Every day we're inspired by your likes and your lives, and we'll continue to challenge ourselves to remain a big part of them both. Bermudez, biscuits we love.
The Evangelical Council of Churches, in collaboration with the Full Gospel Businessmen Fellowship International, invites you to join the Christian community in celebration of our 50th anniversary Jubilee of Independence Emancipation Rally, with our specially invited feature speaker all the way from Nigeria, Reverend Mosi Madugba, accompanied by a contingent of prominent Nigerian dignitaries on Saturday, July the 28th, from 4 p.m. at King George V Park in Port of Spain, and also on Sunday, July the 29th, from 4 p.m. at Dwight York Stadium, Tobago, featuring prominent local artists including Christopher Tambu Herbert, Woodbrook Steel Orchestra, dancers, drummers, and a 100-member choir, and lots more. Admission is free.
We're testing new Degree, the only antiperspirant activated directly by movement. Activating protection, Bear! The more you move, the more it works. New long-lasting Degree with motion sense. Not me! Keep running.
Where we going tomorrow? We going to Tobago. It's yours, mine, and ours. We going to Tobago.
It's the 25th anniversary of the Tobago Heritage Festival, and everybody's invited. The celebration's bigger than ever this year, with more villages, more shows, plus cultural favorites like the goat and crab races, an old-time Tobago wedding, oh gosh, and the food, July 13th to August 1st. Mark it down, July 13th to August 1st. 25th Annual Tobago Heritage Festival. Yours, mine, and ours to preserve and protect. Whoa-yo-yo!
U.S. health regulators have for the first time approved a drug to prevent HIV infection. Truvada can be used by those at high risk of infection and anyone who may engage in sexual activity with HIV-infected partners. Studies showed the drug reduced the risk of contracting HIV by up to 73%.
This is the drug that some say makes it possible to foresee the end of the AIDS epidemic. Signs of promising news emerged when research from 2010 showed Truvada significantly reduced the risk of HIV in healthy gay men and among HIV-negative heterosexual partners of HIV-positive people. Studies show that the now approved drug could reduce the risk of infection by nearly 75% when used as a precautionary measure. Experts insist, however, that the drug should be used with other preventative measures such as condoms. But the drug will cost around $14,000 a year, making it unaffordable for many people, particularly those in Africa.
President Obama and the First Lady have shared a very public kiss at a U.S. basketball exhibition game against Brazil in Washington, D.C. They declined to share a kiss during the first half when picked up by the Verizon Center's so-called Kiss Cam, the in-house video which flashes the image of a couple on a giant screen. But when the camera swung back, that's later in the game, they were goaded by their daughter, Malia. Mr. Obama put his arm around his wife and they obliged, to the delight of the crowd. We now take a short break and come back with more news. Stay with us.
It's gonna be a great day. Got my ginseng up, hey. Let's focus, people. Come on and get it sorted. Get more out of your day. Get things done efficiently. people, drink it up now, drink it up now. Drink it up now, drink it up now. Oh.
Enjoy the new look and same great taste today. Ginseng up, the root of all power.
I believed in myself. I knew I was going to make my country proud. Was I scared? No. It was my proudest moment. I felt I was on top of the world. What makes me proud about Trinidad and Tobago? The belief in ourselves and the ability to win, despite the odds. What are you proud about? Tell us on Twitter by tweeting #I4TNT.
Where there's love for country, there's energy. Where there's energy, there's BPTT.
Mom puts on her white shoes when she takes me out for a walk. Sometimes she likes to go barefoot. Then she bought black ones. I wanted mine to be just like hers. Now I can't even count them.
No matter how many times she's changed, inside she's always been the same. A mother's instinct never changes. Neither does the taste of Clem. Clem, growing up milk. New look, same great taste. A product of Nestle.
It's so pulpy. Wow. Minute Maid Pulpy's here. Refreshing orange juice drink with real fruit pulp. Pulp up your life with new Minute Maid Pulpy.
Come and see what police can do. Come and hear what police can do. Come and learn what police can do. We want to partner with you. Come and see what police can do. Come and hear what police can do.
Come on down to the police caravan this Friday, July 20th, Harris Promenade, San Fernando, from 12 noon to 5 p.m. It's exciting and informative. Bring the entire family. See you there.
We want to partner with you.
It's time now for charting a new course, and tonight we feature the St. Theresa's preschools in El Socorro and Arima Girls Government School and the Storybook Montessori Nursery School. We now take a short break. Stay with us.
Warranty, reliability, maintenance-free. Come to D. Rampersad & Company for Mac batteries, the cheapest in the market. D. Rampersad & Company Limited is the largest in automotive engineering machine shop and spare parts supplies. We also provide resleeving, reboring, crankshaft grinding, and complete cylinder head services for Japanese auto parts like Mazda, Mitsubishi 4D56, and more. So come in or call us today.
Listen up, people, to this spot about rainbow products and why they're hot. Corned beef's not the only thing they've got, so put a rainbow in your pot. Canned and dried goods just for you. Vienna sausages and tuna too. Oil milk, rice, peas, and carrots, so put a rainbow in your pot.
Now that's a lot.
That's right, I said a lot. So put a rainbow in your pot. Yeah, put a rainbow in your pot. Put a rainbow in your pot.
The Rainbow range of first-class food products. Available nationwide.
Ashley uses Dove, Alex ordinary soap. Would they switch? Notice a difference? My skin is really tight. Soap leaves behind soap residue that can cause a tight, draggy feeling. With 1/4 moisturizing cream, Dove cleansers rinse cleaner than soap.
As we go, let's bring you the final results of tonight's Your Vote. The question, should a forensic audit be conducted into the EMBD in light of allegations of impropriety? 7% out of our 897 votes voted in yes, while 93% of you voted in no. We now come to the end of the 7 o'clock news here on CNC. So we thank you so much for your company. I'm Charlene Ramdani. Enjoy your night.